starting at grade 8, I got into skating. You know, I thought it was pretty cool, you know, just like bought my first pro setup, and then after that it got me going, you know, like I just kept thriving on like skating, doing these tricks. Personally, I despise security guards, cops.
I don't know, security officers and like police officers, they're not always like so bad because they are doing the job.
There's been so many times where I've been like skating spots, and then I have some guy who just thinks he can be a little wanker and just like try and kick me out of the place or threaten to call the cops or steal my skateboard. Like,
sometimes it feels like they're taking their authority too far when it comes to skateboarding, but at the same time you know that it's for serious concerns.
I just like, yo man.
It usually depends. If they're more respectful, older, just more mature, I guess, they get along great because they can talk and relate to it. But usually when it's like the newer kids just trying to fit in, be cool, this end up being assholes. Like, it's just, sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's super crappy. It really just depends on the personalities. If some person's like just judging them on their bikes or their ride, then it's gonna be crappy. If someone's just judging them on their personality, if they're like getting in the way or anything, it doesn't really matter. All out there to have fun, so.
I don't know if it has to do with like music genre or just the way you dress towards skateboarding, but kind of just reflects upon your personality and like what you like to wear.
Exactly. If people mix skateboarding with like punk rock or like rap, and skateboarding really integrates that well because it doesn't require a certain set of clothing. There's no uniform you gotta wear for skateboarding, right?
Maybe more or less likely being like an older skateboarder and how it influences younger people to get into skateboarding. But I always see a bunch of younger kids that I pretty much grew up around, and they'd come here and I've watched them progress a lot, and a big part of it has to do with watching older people like me and Dylan, and it's like how you look at kids in high school and stuff, like being 2 years older, how it makes such a big difference. Like them watching us gives them like a bit of inspiration to try to go somewhere in this, and yeah, and like us being around kind of gives them that motivation to keep doing it, seeing that like the skate scene isn't fading away like a lot of other places do. So I try to keep with it even though I'm not really like around here and talk to a lot of people. I just try to kind of show it by doing what I do.
I don't know, skateboarding is generally viewed as a lot more negative in society than it actually is. Skateboarders is probably like some of the nicest people I've ever met. Like, even if you're a terrible skateboarder when you first start, people don't judge you for that because at least you're trying to do something. Like, you're actually like skateboarding, and like, I mean, unless you push Mongo, but you know, like people, it's more of an art form to a lot of skaters because it's more of like a way of life than just a sport or an activity to do. And people take skateboarding to the next level, which makes it so great. Accidents are like an inevitable part of skateboarding. Like, you're never going to be perfectly safe skateboarding. Even if you're wearing protective gear, you can still get hurt easily. You're always going to smash your shins when you're skateboarding. Even knee pads don't always protect your knees and your elbows and stuff.
Falling, just getting tossed, dragged, all scraped up, but I loved it, you know? It was just like the addiction. I just had to do it.
I remember I was skating downhill one time, just bombing hills, and I was going way too fast and tried to put my foot down. Completely screwed up and clipped my face off the ground so hard I was knocked out for like 10 minutes. I had to go to the hospital. And I asked the chick there if it was foolish that I wasn't wearing a helmet. And she said like wherever my face hit the ground, it wouldn't have mattered even if I was wearing a helmet. I still would have smashed my face like that. And I nearly died, broken both my wrists. And I don't know, I still love skateboarding. It's just part of life, is you're always going to hurt yourself no matter what you do. You can't let that hold you back, and that's what most skateboarders accept.
All right, my name is Troy Beauregard. I'm a staff sergeant with the RCMP here in Campbell River. I currently hold the position of the operations commander there. So the thing that I want to bring out, the point that I want to bring across is that having any sort of positive activity for youth in the community is always a benefit. And I think the benefits far outweigh the negatives in that regard. You know, it's always busy. I've always seen it busy there, so that's a good thing. It's better than having people out and about on the streets or gathering at other areas. The other good thing about that skate park is it provides youth with a sense of entitlement, a sense of ownership, and a sense of community. We rarely get called there, and that's a good thing. I think the area is sort of policed by itself, right? Having that sense of pride and ownership, a sense of being responsible for something is good for your youth, and I think you'd agree with me or not, or other comments, that's what's going on in that location. So certainly, you know, we support anything that's a positive activity for youth in the community. So as for having, you know, calls for service at the skate park, I could say they're very low. Anytime, again, just to reiterate that we have that opportunity to provide youth in our community with positive outlets, it's all good, right? It's anything that's going to keep people with something to do and having a positive thing to do, then it just benefits everybody.